Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the HG Build Custom, the Northern Pod. Now this pretty ugly thing is the Northern Pod. Now as it is, it's just a flying thing by itself. But kind of really what you're supposed to do with it is take it apart and use the different parts to customize a set of 2 Force Impulse Gundams as they appeared in the Build Fighters Island Wars anime episode there. So we have a couple different heads for that. So it really, in order to do that, to make what you're meant to make here, you need 2 HG Revive Force Impulse Gundams. You could use the original, I guess, but this is meant to be used with the Revive Force Impulse. So then you put these heads on there, you use the parts included with this, and you would have to repaint that because the colors don't match. But anyway, here's a look around this. There are a couple more extra pieces, but this is kind of like the main things that you get with this here. 2 different heads, really cool, different styled heads. The one's quite interesting there, that's a very all green one. It's very reminiscent of the GX bit, like the version of the Gundam X head there. Essentially, the other one's a kind of just regular kind of gym looking sort of head, or like a Nemo kind of like that. And then yeah, we have this thing, and the whole thing sort of like changes and breaks up into a bunch of different parts, and you can rearrange stuff and all sorts of all of that. So I'll show you that. Again, like I said, there's a couple extra pieces as well which you can use for mounting stuff together. So overall, everything green and blue that you see there is all stickers. So the green on the heads, the stickers, all the blue on the pod there itself is all stickers. The whole thing's just molded in gray. The heads are molded kind of like in white, and the rest of everything else is just molded in a light gray color there. So yeah, simple but worth the price. 600 yen I think is a fair up price for this to get a couple different head options that you can use with whatever kits you want really. And then this whole thing, I don't really like the design of it too much, but you can do some kind of interesting stuff with this, so we'll take a look at that. Just want to say a big thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this to share with you guys, because it's an interesting set here, and like I said, I like these heads. So just to give you a look at these heads more closely, there's that's just one big green sticker that wraps around the whole part of the head there. Then the other one here, gonna be looking like that. One green sticker there for the visor, green sticker here for the camera on the back of the head as well. And so it's pretty simple. It's just 2 parts that fit together. This, sorry, that's 3 parts. This head is just 2 parts that fit together. The pod here, now it's supposed to just like fly through space or whatever like this, as it is here. So it'd be cool if you wanted to like actually mount it like that, if you wanted to just have this by itself, but there's nowhere to connect an action-based connector, and I've looked in the instructions, and the instructions don't really say where you can actually attach an action-based connector to this if you want to just have this flying by itself. Here it shows you how to build it, and then here at the end, nowhere about mounting it onto an action base. Here on the back shows you how to remove everything and then use it all as different weapons and stuff, but again, nowhere to attach it onto an action base. So you will have to just kind of figure that out by yourself, I guess. So yeah, these wings here kind of move, and that's pretty much the only point of articulation on here. In order to use this, you basically just have to start taking stuff off. So like these parts here on the side, take those off. These wing parts, take those off. These things here, which you can see are kind of like little handguns. One is going to be for the left and one for the right. So we'll take those off. Take this main top part off. And if I can get it off here, there we go, and take this part out of the back, and then that's it. Then we're just left with just this extra thing here, which we're just going to hang on to for the moment. So I've got my HG Revive Force Impulse Gundam here without the backpack. You need to remove that. Also going to remove the head, stick that off to the side. First thing, we're going to be building this one using this head here, so already looking kind of cool. Then we're going to take this long part, attach this onto the backpack. Well, I'll attach it onto the back. And it's going to look something like that, very tall. Then we'll take one of these handgun things. Then we have a couple different attachments for them. This is one of them, kind of just like a barrel that we're just going to slide onto here like that. And that just makes it a little bit kind of longer barrel handgun. Pop that into the hand. pop the hand back on the kit, and now we've got a gun. Then we're going to take these two parts that we snapped off, and these are going to connect to each other like so. And then we have an extra piece that we're going to use for the handle of this, which is going to fit onto here like that. And now we have a handle, and now we have a small little shield for this guy. Pretty silly looking shield, to be honest, but that is our shield, and doesn't really seem to want to stay where it's supposed to. It just kind of spins around there, so that's kind of disappointing. So here's what that's going to look like. This version, again, there's two different versions that you can make. I only have one HG Revive Force Impulse Gundam, so I can only show you one at a time. I can't show you both of them at the same time, unfortunately. So here's a look at this one, and then we'll take a look at the next one here next. We need to switch up all those parts. Alright, so to change it into our other form, we'll take off everything here. Now, a lot of these parts have this little, like, nub there on the end. You can see these other parts have that. Pretty sure that's a safety nub. It's not supposed to really be on there technically according to the design, so you want to cut and sand that off there if you get this. I just haven't done that yet, just so I thought I'd leave it on there just to show you guys, but that, I think you're better off just sanding that off. Anyway, we're going to put our other head onto here, our GX bit head. It's going to be looking pretty Daft Punkish. Take the other pistol that we have. We do have two of them, so of course you don't have to switch this part. We have this new kind of beam cannon looking part that we're gonna then slide onto here. So that's what that's gonna look like. Pretty cool. For the backpack of this guy, we're gonna take this extra part, which was the bottom. We're just gonna flip this part down and then attach this onto the backpack like so. So like that. I suppose you could have it up, just a personal preference thing, but according to the manual you're supposed to have it flipped down like that. Then we're going to take these pieces that we removed before and attach this one to here like that, this one to here like that. You can see these parts at the bottom are sort of like kind of supposed to lock together. It's a little bit of a trick there to get them to do that. What is going to help hold everything in place is this extra handle piece. So we have another handle piece we're going to use for this. We're going to attach that into there. That'll help hold all this stuff. You need to flip those pegs at the top down. And now we have another shield. This one, again, very awkward handle connection there. So really not going to be the easiest thing to hold in the hand. That's going to look kind of silly. So let's see, just pop this into the hand there. And again, we have the same problem of this just being kind of loosey-goosey there in the hand. You'll definitely have to bend the arm, sort of pose it in a certain way to keep that from just being down like that. So here's what this one is going to look like here. Again, pretty cool. So yeah, the shield kind of works okay if you get it wedged in there at a certain angle where it's not going to be spinning around. This has nothing to do with this particular kit, but just with the Force Impulse Gundam itself. I mentioned this in my review of that, but I just want to mention it again because it's being a problem again, is that the wrist joint is quite loose on my kit, and so it makes it kind of hard to hold the rifle or anything in the right hand in a way that looks natural. So I have to also kind of do some balancing in the pose to get that to look right. So I don't know, if anyone else has that issue with a loose wrist with the HG Revive Force Impulse, let me know down below. But anyway, overall really cool set. We get some nice stuff to work with and a lot of different options, things you can do, switching around stuff, and you can use this with this kit or with other kits or whatever you want really. So yeah, a lot of stuff. I'm sure you could just, you know, find some other different combinations that you can do with it. I'm just showing you guys what it shows you in the manual, but of course you can get creative and do a lot of other fun stuff with this. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you do have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.